Hi, Dave Roscoe here. It is very early Saturday, June 14th, 2025, and I'm really late, but I wanted to get this out because I have some things to say. As you can tell behind me, I now have my green screen, which I talked about in a previous episode. It finally came today, so I've been busy setting that up. I also got a light that will hopefully provide better visuals for some people, because I know a lot of people have said that my videos tend to look kind of dark. I don't see it, but maybe this will help. But I think that's the extent of the gizmos I'm going to add for making these videos. And what's behind me will likely change. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I just threw this up here for now. I'll play around with it. You know, it's what I do. So I have a correction to yesterday's video. As you recall, I was quite upset over the price action of Pi. I don't typically get upset about the price action. My problem yesterday was the apparent market manipulation, but it turns out I was at least partially wrong, and we'll talk about that. There's a new update from the Pi core team talking about the Pi domains. We'll talk about that as well. I missed another scammer bot victim today. I rolled out a newer version of my script. It didn't work. In this case, I don't know if I had any reason to expect it would after the fact. I'll talk about that as well. But first, the metrics. The circulating supply is 7.44 billion Pi, with 50,974 user accounts migrated yesterday, totaling 18.8 million Pi. There is 12.7 million Pi in the Pi migration wallet. The migrated unlocked rewards are at 2.19 billion Pi, with 8.4 million Pi unlocked in the last 24 hours and now free to be traded on the open markets. Looking at the price action, the Pi coin is currently trading at 58 cents, which is up 3.33% from this time yesterday. The market cap is at $4.32 billion, which is up 3.26%. The daily trading volume is at 119 million, and it's down 39%. At one point earlier today, it was up 260%. So whatever was going on to drive the price wacky, it was trading pretty sideways for a while earlier today. It was very bizarre looking, but it's since climbed back up a bit, and it's now currently sitting at 58 cents. And I expect it will recover. I was upset yesterday because of the dip, and as I mentioned, I noticed it happening while I was preparing the video. So I quickly did a pivot to talk about it because it clearly looked like market manipulation. And I think to some extent it was, but all of the other cryptos were going down as well. And I did not realize that Iran was being bombed by Israel. I found out about that shortly after my video because people were telling me, because I put out this whole rant about price manipulation, and people were saying, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Iran and Israel are at war. That was a large part of it, I think. But the Pi coin dipped lower percentage-wise than all of the other major cryptos. At one point, it had gone down by almost 16% and then recovered to about 12%, whereas the other cryptos did not suffer as big a drop. So I do think there was some market manipulation there, and I still do think that the whales are going to try to push people out so they can buy more Pi for the Pi2Day pump that's coming. And again, I'm just saying, I don't know for sure it's going to happen, but we've seen this before. When big days are coming, big events are coming, the Pi coin will push up because there's anticipation of something big. Now, maybe people have learned their lesson and they won't get so excited and pump up the price. But I mean, if you watch crypto long enough, you know that no matter how many times the hype cycle happens and the disappointment follows, it's still going to happen. So I still say it's going to pump. I don't know to what, but it'll certainly recover from where it's at now at 58 cents. And at the very least, in the near term, I expect we'll see the Pi coin trading back at around what it was earlier this week, unless, of course, something else happens. I mean, this could escalate in this war with Israel and Iran. We just don't know. So the Pi Core team put out an update regarding the Pi domains auction. And it says here, the Pi domains auction continues to see strong engagement across the Pi ecosystem. As first shared in the Pi2Day 2025 announcement and domains auction FAQ, or FAQ, the domains auction is a platform-level utility that harnesses the collective resources of the Pi community and Open Network's external connectivity to further Pi's role in real-world commerce and digital interactions. It allows pioneers to have the opportunity to secure and have customized .pi domains for their businesses, brands, stores, contents, apps, websites, personal use, and more. A few updates recently were released, including a new statistics page that is available in the Domains app. However, as the auction continues, certain trends and challenges warrant attention to ensure the long-term success and intended utility of Pi domains within the broader Pi ecosystem. And I think I know where they're going with this. Auction statistics now available. A dedicated interface now shows key domain auction statistics in real time. Pioneers can view domains with the most bids, highest price, and recent trending bids alongside other information. This feature gives participants a transparent snapshot of how the auction is progressing and where the highest activity is happening. The Pi Domains auction is now a Pi app. The auction was previously launched through the Pi wallet, and its separation allows for unique feature deployments like the stats page and email notifications. The bidding interface has been refined in general to offer a cleaner, smoother experience. Now, I don't know about that. A lot of people have been saying that bids have been failing a lot, but that may not have anything to do with the new interface, but I've ran into it a couple times myself. I have two auctions or two domains that I'm bidding on right now. And the second one, I had to resubmit it a few times for it to go through. Now that mainnet wallet accessibility has been significantly expanded, more pioneers can see and participate in the domain auctions. An upcoming feature will also enable email notifications that will notify pioneers about updates for individual domains via the Settings tab. As the auction progresses, some emerging patterns have surfaced that are worth exploring. A significant number of high-activity bids are focused on domain squatting, whereby those bidders seek to obtain domain names associated with major brands, generic terms, or popular phrases. This shifts focus away from the most important goal, utility. Pi domains were designed as functional Web3 identifiers, anchors for Pi-powered apps, services, and storefronts. What we're seeing is early momentum driven by this domain squatting based on name ownership, but the intended value of Pi domains comes from active use. For developers and businesses within the Pi ecosystem, these domains should serve as recognizable access points for live applications, whether that's a merchant storefront, a tool, a blog, or something more advanced. To fully support that original vision, the domain auction should evolve in parallel with the rollout of tools that help pioneers build apps, not just bid and sell. Solutions to these potential issues, like making app creation more accessible than ever, are being worked on and will be announced soon. Well, that's good. It's good to see that they're working on it. I know, they're talking about domain squatting. Obviously, a lot of people are trying to grab like the Amazons and the Samsungs and all of that, because this is what happened before when the internet was young and people were ransoming these high value domains, until ICANN stepped in and said that these companies have the ability to what amounts to eminent domain, and that ended that practice for the most part. If you're willing to go to court, you can get it without being ransomed, but smaller names, I think they're still actually paying these ransoms, as long as they're not exorbitant. But anyway, everyone's looking to make a buck no matter how they do it. So the last thing I want to talk about is my anti-scammer bot. This morning, or actually, this is part of the reason why my video is late today, because this particular unlock happened at just after 10 p.m. my time, which is on the Eastern Daylight Time, and it didn't work. And I feel really bad about that. The guy was a real nice guy, and I really wanted to help him. And I thought I had a shot. Like, I rolled out yet another iteration of my bot, which in my testing was better than previous attempts. And I have another version that I'm working on already that will be even better, but it wasn't ready to roll out in time for this particular unlock, and that's a shame. And after the time passed, I took a look at the wallet, and there were dozens upon dozens of failed transactions. And that's what you'll see, because a lot of people are pounding the blockchain trying to get at this wallet. Only one will win, but many will still get through, only to find that the balance is already gone. So you see these failed transactions. I will tell you this, a ton of attempts never make it through because they flood the network so much that other people's attempts to get in there are just rejected. And I literally, before I stopped counting, I went through several pages of failed transactions. And before I stopped counting, I was up to 8 different wallets that were participating in trying to scam this poor guy. So I got one more iteration to go. I know I keep saying this. I don't know how much farther I can take this, but I had a bit of an epiphany earlier today, which got me started on this other version of the bot. I think it's the last hurrah, and I will roll this out. I'm going to put this out later today. So if anyone else has got an unlock that's happening in the next 24 to 72 hours and your wallet's compromised, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do. I make no promises, but I'm not ready to give up just yet. As I mentioned in a previous video, I'm kind of changing things up about the way that I produce my daily updates. Starting Monday, I will be live streaming my daily updates on the Crypto Wolfpack at 9 a.m. Eastern time, and it'll run for about half an hour, and I'll do my daily updates, which will be recorded, and I'll explain in a minute. And then afterwards, we'll do a live Q&A session, in which case people can ask me questions right, live in the audience, and I'll answer them if I can. And then after that, I will edit the video and then post it to YouTube. So you should start seeing more consistent updates sometime before noon daily Eastern Standard Time. If you want to see them live, then come on over to the Wolfpack and you can see it live and interact and get questions answered. So I just want to let you know about that. Another change I'm making is I'm going to stop doing updates on the weekends. As I mentioned many, many times, this takes several hours a day to do, in addition to my full-time job and my family obligations. And the summer months are coming, and we're spending more time outdoors and doing things, and it's getting a bit much for me, to be honest with you. So I'm going to back off and stop doing updates on the weekend. Now, I never stop looking at the news. I never stop calculating metrics. So if there's anything significant that happens, I'll still pop on. And if it's not worthy of a video, I'll post it on X, or I'll post it in the community section on my YouTube channel page. So, I won't necessarily go completely dark on the weekends, but I'm not going to make it a point to do video updates. And that should give me a little bit of my life back. Hope you guys don't mind that too much, but I just wanted to let you know that. So I won't be doing any videos this weekend and subsequent weekends for the foreseeable future. I'm not saying it's permanent, but who knows what's going to happen. Well, that's all I've got for today. It's a better day than yesterday. I'm in a better mood than yesterday, even though I did fail to help that guy get a break from the scammers, but it's still overall a better day. So if anything breaks, I'll be sure to hop on here and let you know. But until then, don't panic, stay the course, and remember, the success of the Pi network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.